Shalom, shalom. The title of this lesson is A Man Grown in Yahweh Shem Shai Chooses Wisely. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Shai by Shem Kakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. Almighty shalom to the hopeful elect, scattered folk on the earth, teaching His word, believing His word, Lord willing as a whole. You all continue in sound doctrine. Shalom to the Aquaf, the sister, this faith, and this truth. Lord willing that you continue to pursue your law, which is being a loving and silent, virtuous wife. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. I was really inspired by this lesson that I had to screen record. I had to, So Lord willing, this is edifying. A man grown in Yahweh Shem Shai would choose wisely, right? He's going to say some key points in this clip. Pay close attention, especially you women. Especially you women. I don't care if you're married or not married. I mean, if you're not married, you should be watching your husband. But you should be paying very close attention. And for brothers, we need to pay close attention because you need to understand having one wife or many wives. Sex is not the importance, right? We know the end result of real sex is to bring forth children. Yes, it's pleasure, but to get with a woman or to have a husband is your first thought. Sex, no, you're out of pocket. Like, even for you women, when you even thinking about men having multiple women, right? Sex is involved, but that's not the main point. It's bigger than that, So take heed to what's being said. So let's get into it.
But the scriptures say in Micah 7:10, it says, "She is my enemy. Shame should cover her." You know what I'm saying? That said to you, "Where is the Lord thy power?" Right now, these women are saying that to us. You know what I'm saying? What do you have? Or what power do you have? Or they don't see it. They don't see it at all. So they shun us. You know what I'm saying? They shun us. And let them. So what, man? In the meanwhile, we getting right with ourselves. And first and foremost, we getting right with the Creator. That's what we're doing. And then when the Heavenly Father give us the go, we're gonna do a lot of. We're gonna be like, what is it? We're gonna be very, what is it called when a kid? Very picky. We're gonna be very picky, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is the nature of the reality. This ain't about, oh, I just want to bust a nut with this girl, bust a nut with that girl, look, man. When you truly about the knowledge, you gotta, you want to get true understanding of why the hell you breathing. Life is more than sex, man. It's more than sex. If you calling yourself wanting to have multiple women, it's more than just sex, yo. That's a whole responsibility, man. But this ain't about just wanting to have sex. That's just a pleasure that come with it. This is what we're experiencing is greater than us. This is about our nation. 2/3 of our people are finna get cut off and die. A lot of our people finna go back to the spiritual world, and the Heavenly Father gonna be bringing them back through the act of sex, reincarnation, to bring back your cousins, your family member, your damn mama, your daddy that's gonna die on his side. It's bigger than sex, man. But you start talking about sex or you start getting there, then that's where everybody get all squeezy, man. That's where the women get all squeezy. You know what I'm saying? But hey, the scripture said that the Heavenly Father did not impart onto the woman understanding. So it ain't even for you. Everything that we talk about, what the Lord says He's gonna do, it ain't even for you really to come and try to break it down with us, man. Look, man, you sit in your place. This is the reality, yo. And y'all could talk all y'all, women, they talk all their crap now. Yeah, talk. But reality is gonna show you. What we're talking about is already is in the process of starting.
Call Yahweh Shem Shai. And even the more crazy thing is that I don't know if it even showed on the screen, but while I was doing this screen recording, the brother from GMS Orlando, he was doing, I think, a testimony. He had a dream. In his dream, it was he was dreaming of the girl of his dream. And I listened to like a few seconds, and then I stopped it, and I'm in the house like, dang, I don't know if I should go out. And I'm like, I want to. It was in my heart to go out, but I'm like, I gotta do a screen recording. I gotta read. And in my mind, I'm like, man, you got so much in your mind. Yahweh Shemashai, whatever it is, please allow it to be done. And I got up, and later on I got up. But what even pushed it, me watching this video, and then while I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, I gotta screen record this. I get done screen recording, I go back to the video to play, and the brother dropped his video. I had a dream of the woman of my dream, and I died laughing. I'm like, yeah, how about Shemi Awashai? Like, are you kidding me? And that just let me know I gotta do this lesson, and it's nobody's business, but if you see, you see. Of course I have 2 wives. Let me just, even if I have one, having a wife is a responsibility, and having children responsibility, having wives is a responsibility. It's not, yeah, brother, yeah. I mean, that's cool. I'm happy, but at the end, it's a responsibility. And I'm not dissing any brother. Everybody can't handle it on this side, because you women are emotional piece of work. You are, then you got other things. You got to attend to either her sexual needs, right? And other desires, if it come, right? If she too extreme, if she over the board, right? There's so many things that you got to do. And in most cases, we got to really put ourselves last, especially having a household. Majority of the time, you got to put yourself last most of the time, and then sometimes, certain things we got to know. Women can't handle certain things. So then you got to know she the weaker vessel. You got to teach her something. And then sometimes you can't tell her something. And then you got to let her find out herself. It become a situation. And then you got to teach her. It's a whole process when it comes to women. But when you get one, before you get one, know that it's a responsibility to have a wife. Okay? It's a responsibility. She's not just a piece of, let me just tear that ass up. Okay? So when a man is truly growing in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, his mindset changes. He no longer moves off of impulse, lust, or emotion. He moves with wisdom, discipline, and the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And just because of that, and look how the Spirit, we're already here. Wisdom of Solomon 6:17, it says, for the very true beginning of her, speaking about the spirit of wisdom, is the desire of discipline. And the care of discipline is love. Well, the phone just chimed in. Message. Right? So the beginning of wisdom is the desire of discipline. So a man of the Lord is going to have discipline, right? In order to really have a household, you got to have discipline. And that discipline has to come from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Growth produces discernment. A man that is maturing spiritually begins to see things clearly. What they say, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. I mean, we still in the rain, but we're able to see clearly through it. This is Proverbs, the 4th chapter, in verse 7. It says, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get understanding. Right? With the scriptures is going to allow us to understand our role as a man and as a husband. And it allows us to understand the role of a woman and a wife. Now, for you women, you're able to go in the scriptures to understand your role. But in the spirit, the man is going to understand you and him better than you, because we're getting the divine scriptures from the Lord, but it's the Rakak Wadash that increased the understanding on knowing the role of a man and a woman. That's fire, right? So we truly know you better than you, right? And that was all because of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai know you better than you know you. A man know you. Hey, let me stop. Let's get another one, but let's go to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, the 25th chapter, in verse 1. It says, in 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and men. The unity, right? Accord, agreement, oneness, the love of brethrens, a man and a wife that agree together. And our agreement is on what? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And what is that wisdom, knowledge? The role of man and woman, and so on and so on. Okay? We have to agree first with our belief. Okay? So as you grow, you stop chasing looks alone. You stop being led by lust. You start explaining character, spirit, and order. Wait, hold on one second. Because of the word lust. You have a good understanding of lust and you have the wicked form of lust. The wicked form of lust would be a sin, which would either lead to you lusting over another man's possession, another man's property, right? Which we shouldn't lust, desire another man's wife. But you can lust and desire a single woman like, man, oh, I want her. Like, I want her to be my wife. Now, you could exaggerate and lust a woman in the mind of doing all these other things and never walk up and find out if she has a husband or not. So technically, you most likely committed adultery. So just wanted to fact check that. But spiritually growing men ask, and she is submissive. Does she fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and can she help me stay on my path? Because a true woman is a help me. She's helping you on this path, basically being a piece, right? And her playing her role. But not every woman is meant to be your wife, right? Just because a man can deal with women doesn't mean he should deal with every woman. Truly, it is an expedient. But then we got to go back to man's going to the Lord, right? If the spirit is drawing a woman unto you, you have to look at it in the spirit aspect, And of course, we're not rushing. You don't rush just because you see it. But it all goes back to why. Why is the Lord allowing this? But it's even better when you look at it in the spirit, because if a woman is trying to grow in the truth and she's being persistent and she's cleaving to you and she's attracted to you, it might be a sign the Lord is using you as a light to this woman and she's being drawn to you. Now, if you have understanding, this is where wisdom's supposed to come into play. Okay? The Lord put us in situations that we can handle. He's not going to put you in a situation you can't handle. Okay? It's either you can look at it and walk with it or look at it and walk away. Everybody can do it. I could have walked away. I could have, hey, no, you go over here. No, I don't. You can go to another brother. But one thing led to another word. You know what? Nah, there's other brothers that's single. You know what? I'm dealing with another sister, but if you want just to see your action, I'm about to do a Bible study, out here. If you can, show yourself and build with my wife. If actions make her do something that I say that I prefer, and she does it, most likely you just made yourself somewhat spiritually attractive. It's nothing this woman or another brother can do, but it will all be the Lord. If I'm spiritually attracted, this is men, man. We're men. Okay. Oh, Salaki, let me get Sirach 26, Ecclesiastes 26 to 23. It says, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's something to look at yourself, not to say I'm the shit. That's something to look at yourself and always try to master yourself. Because now when you realize, man, I'm giving to a man of the Lord, you got to perfect yourself. Now, brother, if you're given a loving, silent woman and she's better herself, now you got to say like, dang, the Lord gave me a responsibility. But even when you get a woman and you didn't even see all these things and you're attracted to her, you automatically got to say, damn, I got a responsibility. Because as soon as you think about putting your rod on her and she's not a freaking harlot or anything, and you're investing this time to build with her, now you gotta put in your mind, when I crack this, put this beef in her, man, now I got responsibility. This is your possession. You have to take care of it, So it gets real. So this is where being picky comes in. Not in pride, but in righteous judgment. Now, hey, let's not get it twisted. Some of us, Jake, even before things get real harsh, a lot of us, Jake, is still getting women off of looks. Of course, we're going to still say, hey, how can she cook and clean? How are mine? We still add in all the other things. So let's not get it twisted. We still looking at looks. But even when things get worse in this world, especially in Jacob's trouble, because I know what he's talking about. When shit really hit the fan, there's going to be some creepy crawlers of what we would say on this side, but really that woman might be fine and cold as ever because she might be really submissive in Jacob's trouble, like willing to drop everything she got for this just to be covered, So just wanted to say, and she might even be super cold in the inside. So this is Proverbs 31 and 30. It says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord Yahweh, she shall be praised, right? It is, just saying, it is good looking women that fear the Lord. It's average women that fear the Lord, and it's ugly women that fear the Lord. And it might be some ugly ones that fear the Lord. But guess what? Everybody that's created and whoever is the elect, they're going. The most loser guy that's of the elect, a woman is gonna cleave to him. The most, she might be ugly, but her body's on teen. Guess what? A man is going to consummate, and she's gonna be his possession. You know, it's going to be a beautiful girl that got a stanky breath. Then she might be of the elect. She's going to be somebody's possession. A woman with the biggest forehead, she's going to be somebody's possession. The woman that all her whole life, wigs, lace fronts, all different designs, guess what? She's going to be a man's possession if she's of the elect. Okay? So, a man in the truth understands some women are distractions. This is true. Some women are a test, right? And you can understand that test just by talking to them before you consummate them. This is why Sirach 36:24 in the NLT, women can choose whoever they want to be their husband, but a man has to choose wisely because now she is a reflection of you. Okay? Some women are not built for order. This is why most cases, if you brother are strict, how you move, this is why you don't have the woman that you have, literally. And I know how I am. Then I analyze, this is why I got what I got. Really, the mental certain little things that they let me know why I got what I got. Because if we was to look at other people I used to, it would be more of a harder thing. And the Lord is not trying to, we're already in a difficult situation. He's not going to give you more difficult. He's giving us things that we can handle and people. So again, just a sidebar, polygyny is lawful. Okay. It's not carnal for a man to want, because women were created for a man. It doesn't matter if he has a woman next to him, right, sitting in a chair, wherever he at, and a woman walk past and she's beautiful. In his head, she's beautiful. Where is it in the scriptures if a woman, hey bro, you with your wife, we might say on this side that's a disrespect. It's different if you amazed and you like, oh hey, let me go do this. It's kind of hard, but let me not make you think we're making a new doctrine. When David was bringing the ark, to his area and where his home was at, he was dancing for the Lord. Micah was thinking about these women and then said what she said from her heart and her emotions and feelings. And David listened. Oh, now that you said that, I was dancing for the Lord because of the Ark of the Covenant. But if I did dance for them, they gonna honor me, and walked away. Those women honored them, and the Lord penalized her, and she didn't have no children. And then David separated her and have her move in a whole nother location, separate by herself. Talk to the men of the Lord like you think you want to. What happened to Miriam? She talked sideways about Moses. She got hit with leprosy. Aaron didn't get hit and got removed from the congregation for 7 days. Watch how you talking about the man of the Lord. Just because we in captivity, like the brother said, and Yamayan keeps saying this, a lot of you women and even you men, right? You really don't even know the men that you're in front of. You can't even see past the captivity, because even if you read in the scriptures, you should be able to understand the men of the Lord. Jeremiah, he was a man of the Lord. Okay. So know that it's men on earth right now walking as the lot of Jeremiah, and they're a real prophet. That man should be treated way different on this side. But yes, it's going to be a spirit in this air where the men of the Lord are not going to be treated that way. Just a little bit, yeah, they will be, but in most cases they won't, because they're going to really get that benefit in the kingdom. Okay? So polygyny is lawful. It's not carnal. Yes, the scriptures show that a man can have more than one wife. Our forefather, the whole nation was really established through damn near 4 women. But the world has corrupted this into lust and ego. And it's really because Esau created laws. We go to Daniel where it speaks about the 4th beast changing the times and laws. Not only in this captivity, yeah, in the Romans and when the Europeans came into power, definitely. And even when America got established, they got worse and worse. So a lot of things has changed. This is why we can't see it. A righteous man understand it is lawful, but not a game. It is allowed, but not required. It is serious, not sensual entertainment. When we go to this classic law, but precept, Exodus 21:10, it says, if he take him another wife, her food and her raiment and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. Her duty is talking about sex, catering the comfort of her man. It should not be diminished, right? Neglected, right? Where in NLT, he must not neglect the rights of the first wife to food, clothing, and intimacy. This was that providing that we can't diminish from the first wife. Food, clothing, intimacy. So if most cases, if that woman is getting food, especially in her house, in the house, clothes in her house, and she's getting sexual intimacy, she's getting broken down. I don't care if it's once, twice, third in a day, or 7 days out of the week. Most time, if we would say in a week when it's her time, we could say 4, 5, 6. However, was she getting it? Not even counting how many times in one day. She better shut up. Because if the other sister, she could say she getting it 10 times, but you got it 7. Guess what? That scripture is still fulfilled. You still was able to fill your duties. Oh, she got 10, I got 7. Man, shut up. We're going off of what Acts the 5th chapter, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. It's about obeying the Most High. So is a man diminishing your sexually duties? No. So when a man takes another wife, he must not diminish the first. So that means provision must be maintained. Fairness must be upheld. Order must be established pertaining on how that scripture was read, and then how we teach it. The main duties or her work shouldn't diminish is really the sexual duties and the comfort, the nourish that she gives towards her husband. That should not be diminished. Okay? And the other things that we've seen even in NLT, food and clothes, should not be taken from her. So if she's already getting the 3, it doesn't matter how many, because the Lord didn't even say how many. If that woman is getting touched one time, say from one time to no time, say from 3 times to getting it 2 times, that means she's still getting it. If she's getting it 5 times and then he stopped and only do it 2 times, but she still get it. She don't know how many times he did it with the other wife, but he did it with you 2 times and he stopped doing it 5 times. Guess what? He still fulfilled it. It's talking about when it's diminished, right? When now what you was doing is taken away from you. Now that's going to cause things in your mind. Okay? So again, this thing is with order. Order must be established. This alone cuts off most men who think it's just about sex. This is why every brother can't have it. And if any brother do have it, right, the Lord is going to move you around and he's going to allow you to see other examples on what not to do. Okay? So it's a responsibility, not a fantasy. And the world is a fantasy, and we will probably do a little more stranger things in that fantasy. But this is a responsibility. The things that's in your bedroom, you still trace back to the counsel of the Lord on what you can and what you can't do. Other than that, the marriage is a responsibility to maintain the order, maintain the house, right? A man dealing with one woman is already accountable. But multiple wives, that really multiplies your responsibility. You see that? You see that? And then when you go to Baruch 4:28, it said that it was, even though it was your mind to go astray, now that you return, seek him 10 times more. In the G&T, it says seek him with determination. Paul gonna tell you it's better that man don't have a wife, but if you do, be as it that you have none. So if you got a wife, imagine if you got a wife, right? Of course, it said you're already accountable. But if you got multiple wives, that means you have you multiply your responsibility. Technically, you're supposed to be on double work, overdrive. And that's your motivation on the things that you have. I always say this, things that you have, if you have children, they healthy, right? Your children is in order, they can say the name of the Lord, they believe, right? Yeah, especially for a man, all my children live with me, except for one. That's a motivation for me. A motivation, so it inspires me even more to play my lot even more. Okay? So you must lead spiritually, you must provide spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. Don't take away, because I know a lot of women like to take away. Hey, women, in Proverbs 31, even a woman was providing. And when you look at it, that woman was even making it easier on a man, depending on whatever that helping hand was helping with. You know, a real woman of her husband is not allowing so much weight to be on him, because then the meaning of woman would make no sense. A helpmeet. The heck, you a helpmeet, and I'm over here. I'm carrying the whole load. Or as a man, you're supposed to. You know, but we just seen that you shouldn't. I shouldn't allow the first wife to diminish from food, clothes, and sex, or just sexual intimacy. That sounds kind of easy, small, and short. But in this society, they try to go a little higher and try to make it more extreme than what it is. Okay? You must judge fairly. You must maintain peace and order. What did Solomon do with the two women? Right? One woke up and said, my baby was dead. And the other one, then Solomon had to investigate. Then he said, you know what? Since y'all both saying this, you saying this, cut it in half. We'll give it. And the one who was the true mother said, no, I'll give it to her. And Solomon, through the spirit, knew the one that was giving up the child, yep, she is the real one. So we got to judge fairly. And guess what? You women got to hold on to it. If a man might feel, hey, whatever this person is saying, and you was out all day, and she watching, okay, guess what? She got a whole point. So shut up and say sorry. Guess what? You might be butthurt, but him as a man of the Lord, and he's dealing with wisdom, that's what he has to do. And sometimes the judgment might be harsh, but it's of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. This shit is not about beauty and good looks. This is about the truth, honesty, which Lord willing, I'll do a lesson on it. Sirach 27, 8 and 9. If you try to be honest, you can be. And it will improve your character as handsome clothing improves your appearance. Birds come to roost with those of their own kind. In the habit of honesty comes to those who try to be honest. It's very important for us to be honest, even especially.
But the scriptures say,
even especially if we become a husband. And I know the truth. Some people don't like the truth. It's harsh. And me, I always been lied to, and then of course being involved, it did something to me. So coming in this truth, sometimes it is a little harder to tell the truth because you know how some people act. But the more you grow, sometimes you're like, man, hell nah. And sometimes the truth is the truth, and then sometimes it might be a little too harsh. And I don't want to live in that where the truth is too harsh for me to handle it, because if I can handle everything else, but I can't handle this, it might be something I truly need to hear. So you women need to hear the raw truth, and I'm gonna tell you the raw truth. You know, even if a man, I only want one. I'm telling you, the real instinct. Let 5 women be real serious about really wanting this one man, right? And doing whatever they do. I'm telling you, his answer is gonna change immediately. Okay, he might. I don't know. But I know if you talk about a true man of the faith that truly believe in the scriptures, let 5 women that are peace or willing to really work on it. That like they're saying, look, I'm willing to go cold turkey right now. Show me, teach me, day by day. I want to grow, but I want to be your possession. This how I know it's so real. If Isaiah 4 and 6 is going to happen on this side in a major way, where women going to say, I don't need no food and no clothes. I got that. Make me pregnant so I don't become a reproach that because I'm not a mother. It's going to get so real that bad that women is going to be begging the men of the Lord, make me pregnant, make me your wife. But on this side, women said, I want to be married. And then they got a good nigga. They're not ready to get married, but I'm ready to get thrashed. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm going to tell you women the raw truth. You women was created for us. If he wants you and then he want the other one, that's him. That's his prerogative. But I'm going to be truly honest. If that man want you and he want another woman and he not serving Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I'm just saying to that man, shame on you. Because you have a better power that can lead you and guide you in that strong, difficult situation, which is you got to be responsible. And if you're not connected to the Lord, that shows you ain't responsible. Okay? So you must maintain peace and order. 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, verse 40, let all things be done decently and in order. So if a man is unstable, emotional, or undisciplined, he will destroy his household. He will create confusion. He will fall into sin. Sirach, the 27th chapter, verse 3. Unless a man hold himself diligently, basically daily in the fear of the Lord Yahweh Shai, his house shall be soon overthrown. So if he's not diligent, his house is going to be overthrown. And I'm just being honest. This is why you have a lot of arguments. Something spiritually is going on. You have to make sure that you're constantly in the face of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. But when you go to Sirach 1 and 14, the fear of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the beginning of wisdom. It was created with the faithful in the womb, right? The Sirach 26 and 1, those that are diligent, right? You were created to have fear of the Lord. This is why some brothers' household move the way they is. This is why some brothers might have multiple wives. This might be the reason why a brother might have 3, 4, 5, 6. However it works, and everything might be a little more quiet because he has fear in the Lord and he's being persistent. This is big, right? It's bigger than sex. It's bigger than a big ass. It's bigger than them big old tittle bitties. I'm sorry about getting raw, but this is bigger. A wise man builds. He doesn't collect. The world teaches men to collect women. Like it's a song by Future. I kind of like it. He said, if I hit it once, you were part of my collection. When you really sit back, technically, a lot of you brothers from in the world and in this truth, any woman that you touch, she is part of your collection, because technically sex is marriage. What I mean by that, sex really finalized that this woman is your wife. But even in the ancient world, what made it even more, if she was a virgin and you put your rod in, sex finalized the marriage. But if you got the token of virginity, oh, that's the icing on the cake. You understand? So the world teaches men to collect women. Technically, any woman you touch, you did collect, because she's your property. Okay, but of course on this side, we're not taught this truth. The truth teaches men to build households. That's the whole point of marriage, right? Outside of the other things that we're doing, but it's about building households. Inner, okay? Inward, and it's going to be seen outwardly. Proverbs 14 and 1, it says, every wise woman buildeth her house, but the fools plucketh it down with her hands, right? And there's a lot of women that's tearing a house down when you go to these hoods, right, of their role, right, being loud. I'm gonna do what I want, or I'm gonna be like him. You know, I'm gonna tell him what he can't do, right? I'm gonna make it a problem. Oh yeah, no, his whole body is mine. All this other stuff that you do. A real wise woman is building her house, finding anything to build. First build is edify. Edify means to build or something built. So the woman is going to want edification in her house. That's the first thing built, which she would be establishing law to her children. And then even more, she's building her house with love. A lot of you women somewhat come with love, and your love is an action, but it is established with that comfort, that nourishment. You're building your house off of those things, because when your baby get injured, you have that nourishment. Oh, it's okay. You have that comfort. You have that soft appeal and feeling, right? I just seen thunder. Call of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai is here, okay? But the man is the foundation of that structure. Literally, he's the foundation of your house. This is why I said, I think in another lesson, this is in my head, when a woman gets married with a man, technically in the truth or even in the world, If we did understand this truth, you women are entering his world. So a grown man asks, can I lead her? Can she be in order? Will this bring peace or confusion? If the answer is confusion, not gonna lie, that man gonna walk away. Self-control comes before expansion. So before a man even considers multiple wives, he must first master his lust. And we can look at it in a desire righteous way, but even more, he's mastering his lust in a sinful way. Okay? His anger, his pride, his discipline. Let's look at Proverbs 16, verse 32. And this is really going into a stoic. Verse 32, he that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city, right? And I know some of us, we latch out where it's known, it's seen, but some of us control it where we're content, we're quiet. You go into a room, instead of yelling in front of everybody, I'm going to do it out loud. Your wife pisses you off and you just hold it, you wait until you get in the car. You have a different, because you knew, if in around people, you going to really wild out. But the more you increase in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai, the more you understand. Come on, bro. Being a man of the Lord, a lot of men of the Lord didn't latch out the way that we do on this side, because technically they were having control of that spirit. Okay? So if you can't rule yourself, you cannot rule a household. In the same way, Yahweh Shai, if you can't rule your household, you can't rule in the church. Right? Let's get that precept. This is 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? In the NLT, if a man cannot manage his own household, how can he take care of God's church? Right? You're managers of your household. If you can't order that, how the hell you think you gonna order a church? Hey, sisters, I just let you hear that. So when you sit back, you got to know your husband is ordering his household. And if he's trying to order his household, he's in a position to order a church. If you get in the way of that, you're messing up your man from not ordering the church. But guess what? If a man don't know how to manage you and manage his house, he's not fucking fit to order the church. And that should make you sit back and look and evaluate your own damn self. You got a weak nigga. Better yet, hey, he might be of the Lord or something. He might not, he's still rough over the feathers. But guess what? You are his possession, sis. This is why even the woman that's wicked and she's given to a wicked man, you get to see your reward. It's the husband you got. He ain't shit, you ain't shit. Domino effect. You both were meant for each other. It could be a woman that's weak in the faith, but she love hard. Guess what, sis? When you look at your husband, you can see, he really do love hard, but his faith is strong. Guess what? You what they say, we got things in common. You might have having a loving spirit in common with your husband. That's what's gonna keep your marriage in a balance. Okay? A man gotta rule his house. If he can't rule his house, how the hell he gonna manage the church? You should want your husband to manage the church. And if you want him to manage the church, you want him to put his foot down in the house. Your child just did the smallest thing, but in the eyes of your husband, they deserve to get popped. They deserve to get something taken or yelled. Guess what? Your husband seen it. You should automatically do it. Because even further than what you can see, this man's vision is beyond what you can see, because he's seeing things that we can't see. Oh man, that's amazing. So, a man growing in Yahweh Shema Shai is not thirsty, impulsive, or careless. He is patient, strategic, disciplined, and fearful of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. His understanding is not about satisfying the flesh. This is about walking in order. Pleasing the flesh, it comes with it. But that's not just the first thought. Polygyny is lawful, yes, but righteousness determines how it is exercised. So this is something we could probably all meditate as a unit. You can look at it as a question if you want. Are you choosing women based on desire, brothers? or based on wisdom and responsibility? Sit there and think about it. I'll answer the question for myself and we'll close. Both. I definitely look at women based off of desires. The desire is not just only sex, because you can have other desires too. You know, if I have custody, just say if a brother's having problems having custody, he got custody of his daughter, and then you eventually get a wife. You should have a desire that this woman can be an example for my daughter. Now, it could be a woman that's good with your daughter, but is she the example for your daughter? The best example is a woman that believes, or trying to believe, trying to change. So even though this girl is good with your daughter, she loves you, she cool, for that moment, because you really desire that role model type, spiritually, physically, for your daughter, you're going to say, you know what? I like you, but she got that package deal. I'm going to choose her because this is what I need. This is what my daughter needs. That brother just chose wisely. Yes, he took a sacrifice, but this is all about longevity, and this is about a legacy. So yes, I choose off a desire, which lust is not a sin, especially if a woman is single, and especially if what your desire is. If it's beneficial for my child, and if it's beneficial, if I'm being with a woman, I want to be with a woman that I can see having a child with. It's not about right now or tomorrow, next week, just in general. If I could see myself having children with you, I want you. If I say I want her, man, I want to get her in the kingdom, I want you. Okay? And that would be a desire plus wisdom and responsibility. I'm not looking for the smartest, but for a woman to be a woman, to know her role, you have to be smart to know your role, and not just only based on wisdom and responsibility. I want a woman to have that submissiveness that Israel as a nation is supposed to have. Yield automatically to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. I want that for a woman. It might not be 100%, I want a percentage that I know I can deal with, that actually Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai know I can deal with, because man's going is of the Lord. So relationships is all set up by the Lord. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. It was all Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So Lord willing, this is edifying. It was motivation for me. I don't know about y'all, but a man grown in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai chooses wisely. So with that, I want to say Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. And with that, Shalom, Shalom. Abad Babal.